If you have hundreds or maybe even thousands of old internet leads in your database and you're not doing anything with them, check out this video because we're going to go in depth on our rekindling campaign that we run with PowerISA, where we turn those old leads back into gold. Check it out. Let's get into it. If you followed some of my older videos, you'll see that I am a big proponent of agents having a database and working that database effectively. One of the questions I got recently from someone, they said, hey, my database is 5,000 people. One person told me, my database is 19,000 leads. How can I work it effectively? One of the things I try to teach agents is to always distinguish their met database from their unmet database. Most agents, when they're talking about thousands of leads or maybe even hundreds and hundreds of leads in their database, are usually mixing the two. What I like to call your primary focus for your database should be your met database. And you can check out my other video on database domination to learn how to effectively work your met and closest database. But let's not discard. You can have a massive amount of leads in an old unmet database. What are those leads? They're typically old internet leads from Google, from Facebook, from Craigslist that have accumulated over the years. I know real estate agents that used to generate 100, 200, up to 500 leads every single day, but were not effective at converting them. So they just accumulated leads month after month, year after year, and that's how they end up with these massive databases of thousands of old internet leads, and they don't always have a plan of what to do with them. Another big distinction between your met database and your unmet database is that with your unmet database, when that internet lead first comes in, you're gonna have a really intensive follow-up system, probably at least the first 10 days. We recommend at least the first 30 days, maybe even the first 60 days. You're gonna touch them 10, 20, 30 times over the next 60 days because you're just trying to start a conversation with them. Compare that to your met database. No one in their right mind would call and text someone they know that many times. There's no point. They already know who you are. They know you're in real estate. You need to keep in touch with them, maybe 30 touches over the whole year, of which maybe 4 are phone calls across the entire year. That's a big distinction between both of them. Another big difference is that with that unmet database, at the very beginning, they can typically be top of funnel leads. When you get these leads from Facebook and Google especially, a lot of them are just getting started in the real estate search process. So yes, the conversion rate can be pretty low on those at the very beginning. But one of the things that happens is that ironically, the more time goes by, real estate agents get less interested in these leads. Oh, these are old. They didn't respond to me the first month, the first 3 months, the first 6 months. I don't see any point in calling them again. But the reality is quite different. 6 months ago, that was a very top of funnel lead. 6 months later, a year later, it's more likely that lead might have become a serious buyer already. So do not let that much time go by without reaching out to them. One of the things that we recommend that real estate agents implement with their old internet leads, particularly even their old uncontacted leads, what many people call the swamp, is to always have in mind you can start what we call a rekindle campaign. The Rekindle campaign is a really specific type of campaign. It's very simple to implement. You have someone, the agent, the buyer's agent, the ISA, whoever's job it is to follow up with these leads. You want to queue them up, a massive amount of them, and just call through with no particular reason to calling other than checking in with them. You can run this script with leads that are a few months old, with leads that are 5 years old, even older than that. Because all you're saying is you're calling them up and saying, hey, this is Gus with ABC Real Estate. Hey, you registered on our website a little while ago, a few months ago, a long time ago, and you were searching for a home here in our area. I just wanted to check in and see how that home search is going. Have you already found a property? Are you still looking for one? In this market that is so tight for inventory, do not be surprised that a lot of buyers are still looking. They're trying to time the market. they're feeling insecure about the market, they're concerned about interest rates, etc. All of the above, right? But the point of the call is to start that conversation. Another big advantage of these older internet leads is that a lot of agents have stopped calling them. When they first come into your system, into the CRM, they're registering on your website, they're registering on other agents' websites, they're registering on Zillow.com, Realtor.com, Trulia.com, and they're getting messages and calls from every agent under the sun very intensely. But you know it wears off. Some people drop off after a week, the more intense ones drop off after a month, and some of them don't even go that far. So it's really important to understand, if you're checking in with them 3 months, 6 months later down the line, it's very likely no one is following up with them anymore. So you have a much higher chance of actually having a conversation without overwhelming them further down the line. It is another big advantage you should consider when following up with these internet leads. Let's say you don't have all the time in the world to call thousands of internet leads. The number one solution that I would recommend, hire an ISA for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months to call through that system. But if you don't have that time and that leverage to add to your team, then one thing you can do is prioritize how you follow up with these old leads. One of my favorite ways to prioritize leads that are in your system that might be older internet leads is use the tools you already have at your disposal. One of the tools you should be relying on every single day is your CRM. If they're registering on your website and you're sending them listing alerts, your CRM typically is going to show you who has actually opened up those listing alert emails. Even better, who has come into the system and looked at listings again on your website. Who's a frequent visitor? Who has done this over the last day, the last week, the last month, regardless of when they registered on your site? These could have been leads from days ago, weeks ago, months ago, even years ago that are still coming back and coming back. Using your CRM effectively to identify your most active users, regardless of registration date, can be a great way to eat the elephant and call through those lists of older leads, whether there's hundreds of leads in that list or thousands of leads in that list. Figure out how to find this information in your CRM because it can be very, very valuable for you. I was having a conversation live within my free Facebook group, and I got some great comments and ideas about calling old internet leads. Someone said, hey, old leads can be a gold mine because people discard them and they might not think they're valuable. The biggest problem is they have stopped calling them. Calling them can get you a result that you do not expect. Someone even suggested, hey, you should ask other real estate agents to give you their old internet leads. Make those calls, make those contacts, and find a way to, if you get a deal from there, offer to pay them a referral fee from that database calling. You, your teammate, or your ISA can use that list and get some business from it. Another great suggestion, and this is for the loan officers, mortgage officers out there. You guys should be offering to call real estate leads for agents for free. At most, say you're going to get some of that buy-side mortgage business, but anyone that wants to buy a home, still interested, still looking, and is not currently represented by an agent, you should be referring out that business to those real estate agents and working for them and making their leads more productive. It is a great way to strengthen that relationship and start it with value first. I hope this video was useful. If you found this content valuable, please hit that subscribe button. We release a new video with a great topic every single week.